Welcome to Oracle TV. I'm Kendall Fire, head of Oracle Video and your Oracle TV anchor.
And I'm Fritz Nelson, Senior Vice President of Content Operations and Kendall's co-anchor on Oracle TV.
And we are coming to you from the heart of Oracle CloudWorld Tour New York City 2025, our final stop on the CloudWorld Tours this year. Isn't that crazy?
It's insane. It seemed like just yesterday we were kicking this all off. We started in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
We're here in New York City, 19 cities in between.
21 total, which is wild.
That's great. You did that math.
I'm getting better at numbers.
Today, we're going to be talking about all of the AI innovation embedded across Fusion Cloud applications. That includes all of our new AI agents and our newest AI Agent Studio.
And of course, we'll dive into all things Oracle Database, including Exadata X11M, Database 23AI, and generative development. And we'll also talk all things OCI, including how we are scaling the cloud up, out, and even down to meet your AI infrastructure needs.
And we wouldn't do any of this without also talking to some of the customers getting an AI advantage by putting all this great AI into action. We'll be interviewing TD Bank, Avis Budget, and AvaSure.
And hey, we want to hear from all of you too, so no matter what platform you're tuning in from, make sure you use the comments to tell us, did you attend any of the CloudWorld Tours this year? Or just tell us what you're excited about to hear from these conversations today, or simply ask any questions you may have. We'll get to as many of your questions as we possibly can throughout today's broadcast.
We look forward to hearing from you, but I think with that, let's get started.
Let's do it. All right, to kick off our broadcast here from CloudWorld Tour New York City 2025, I'm here with Steve Miranda, our Executive Vice President of Applications Development. Thanks so much for being with us, Steve.
Pleasure.
The last CloudWorld Tour, we're very excited about this.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into CloudWorld Vegas.
Yes, we start over again.
Yes, exactly. Now, for those who missed your keynote, you talked a lot about the speed of AI innovation right now.
Yeah.
To kick off this conversation, if companies haven't adopted AI, are they already behind?
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a recent customer visit a few weeks ago, and I think after seeing some of these CloudWorld events, he said, I get the impression I'm behind. And I said, yes. And then he went further and said, so are you saying if I don't get here in the next couple years, is it game over? Well, I don't know how your business is, but you're at a huge technology operational disadvantage. So yeah, it's the time is now. It's moving so fast. If you're not on it, you're probably late.
Well, and so we make it easier for companies to adopt AI. Can you tell us about that a little bit? How do we help companies not only adopt AI faster, but actually leverage it to make a difference, to be more competitive? What is our differentiator?
Sure. Well, there's a few differentiators. I mean, first and foremost, we are the only company that's both in the technology business and in the application business.
Right.
So we bring best-in-class AI that, frankly, OCI helps us builds for us, and the applications consume it. That's part one. Part two is our use cases are embedded. So we start off with simple embedded large language model capabilities. We've added AI agents. We then, a couple months ago, we announced Agent Studio, which allow customers to adopt and to tune and really bring together their different agents. And now we've recently announced a customization framework. So really all the way up the stack. So that progressive release has helped customers adopt little by little. In addition to that, we give it to them included in their quarterly updates. So you don't need to go to a different subscription, price it something. We've already charged our customers for our financials. We charge our supply chain. We've just made that better through AI. Wow. So that it's as easy, literally in some cases, as customers saying, turn it on, and they start using it. So it's really a fast on ramp.
So if you haven't adopted it yet, at least we can get you there faster. You may be behind, but we'll get you there.
Absolutely. And pretty much all of our customers have enough to start, and they're getting immediate business benefit when they do start. So it's going really well.
You mentioned AI agents.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. We'll get into the AI Agent Studio for Fusion Cloud applications, but let's talk about AI agents. First, why is there so much noise around AI agents right now?
Well, I think that there was the initial noise of the large language model. Of course, ChatGPT made it very popular. And you would hear things about people writing, high school English papers and, you see all the videos and things like that. Well, what agents do is really a way of saying, well, it's a piece of AI which will perform a discrete function.
Right.
And in our parlance, it's really a discrete business function.
Right.
So what we've done is we've taken all the processes within Fusion, whether it's procure to pay or the payment process itself or recruiting or supply chain, and broken them into different little steps and created an agent to execute that step. So what we're doing is just automating piece by piece the entire enterprise.
So then can you give me some examples of AI agents within Fusion Cloud applications?
Sure. Well, we introduced one actually that's live at Oracle today, which we call the benefits agent. So it basically, you travel a lot. You just did a 21-city tour.
Yes.
CloudWorld.
Yes.
Hopefully you didn't have any incidents or any issues where you needed a prescription, but maybe you're in Latin America, you need to get a prescription. Is that covered? Do I charge and get reimbursed? Do I have to go to a certain pharmacy? Do I have to call my healthcare provider? What do you do? There's lots and lots of questions. At Oracle, we used to have an email where you mail benefits and they would try to get back to you as best as they can. Well, now you have an AI agent.
Yeah.
And the AI agent is knowledgeable about the Oracle policy. So it knows what the Oracle policy is, but it also knows, it's Kendall who's asking me this question.
Right.
So Kendall's a U.S. employee. Kendall has a title. Kendall's a certain tenure at Oracle. So Kendall's subscribed to a certain health plan.
Right.
So it answers your question in the context directly to you by reading and using AI and the Oracle 23 AI database to ingest and give you that answer. So that's taken, a step in the benefits process, create an agent, and just giving you better, fully automated customer service.
I think I've seen something about asking about pet insurance, that is something that I'm definitely taking advantage of. Yeah. So yes, I love it.
We have an incredibly dense
Yes.
policy document, which anybody could read it if you'd like.
Yeah.
Let's just say AI does a little bit better job of it, though.
There you go. Okay, AI Agent Studio, as you said, another big announcement recently. For anyone who missed it, can you explain what the AI Agent Studio for Fusion Cloud applications is and why did we do this?
Sure. So if you take what I said about what agents are and breaking down the different steps in a process, let's take a recruiting process where you post a job and you post the job qualifications, you source candidates, you schedule interviews, you schedule follow-up interviews, you issue an offer, you deal with the acceptance, then you onboard the person. So I broke it down into a few different steps. I can probably break it down to many, many smaller steps. We're building agents for each individual step. The AI can, if you choose to, automate that. Agent Studio gives you a way of looking at the entire process, looking at what we call teams of agents, and either tune those individual agents, or perhaps you're somebody who does the onboarding or the background check before you issue an offer. Sometimes people do background check after you issue an offer. You may be somebody who has a background that's in a third party. So Agent Studio allows you to take these different agents with their individual steps, orchestrate them together, tune them together, interface with third parties where it's appropriate. So you go from individual steps to full business process automation where agent teams are doing the job for you.
So you just gave us that HCM example, hiring example. Any others examples where you could see customers building?
Across the board. Okay. Payments in financials. Yeah. Do you take a cash early payment discount? Do you fund it through a virtual card? Do you take your full net 30 days to pay the vendor in some cases? In CX, how do you market to customers? How do you create leads based on that? And a full agent that takes you from the marketing event on through to an opportunity and then giving the advice on what to sell. Supply chain planning, really every process throughout, we're building out the library of agents and Agent Studio across the top.
Taking our audience kind of behind the curtains here a little bit, why is Oracle capable of doing this? How does this work? Because not everybody can do this.
Yeah. Well, again, I think that we have the huge benefit of being in the apps business, but in the technology business.
Right.
And we have the further added business, not only being technology business, but have the database behind it. So I described a lot of quick things, but honestly, the fact that OCI is the unquestioned leader in AI and that all the world's large language models have chosen OCI because of its capabilities. To my team and our developers, we get all those benefits.
You reap the benefits.
We reap the benefits. The Oracle database team is the world's leading database, clearly. Now it's added AI capabilities so that you can do things like load a document, a benefits policy securely,
right,
and vectorize it, what's called basically index it for AI, and we have the world's leading database.
Right.
So again, my team is a little bit like kid in the candy store. We have these great tools.
Yeah.
We also have a huge install base of application customers.
Right.
So AI learns as it goes.
From everything,
So
right?
we have the unique opportunity of taking best-in-class OCI, best-in-class database. Then we get to surface that capability to 10,000 customers simultaneously through our cloud. We get that feedback, and then we improve it. So we're just in a really, really unique position. And, that entire aspect really differentiates us.
I mean, with that, so we are truly staying ahead of the speed of innovation when it comes to AI. But that means, like you said, we're innovating so very fast. So what's next? You hit on customization when you were talking earlier. What's next when it comes to AI and Fusion apps?
Well, just going up and down the stack. I think you're going to see, a huge innovation of OCI hosting these models. So they're just going to get better and better.
Yeah.
The database is making tremendous advances in terms of search and search capability. And then the applications, what I described, we're really just scratching the surface in terms of building out agents. And people would say to me, well, when are we going to have, the GL close agent? Recruiting is maybe a 20, 30-step process. The close is probably a 500, 600-step or more.
Yeah.
And so, you'll just see more of that. It's going to be better automation. And then what you're going to see is as customers are using not only Fusion, but our industry products, their data becomes critical.
Right.
And it's going to become from, okay, great, now you've automated the process. Well, what insights can you give to manage your data? And that's this data platform.
Right.
And I think you're going to see really a lot of excitement happening there as you've brought all your data into Oracle based on the power of the database. Putting that analytics is really going to be incredibly powerful for our customers.
Yeah, exciting. So exciting to see what lays ahead and just to keep on keeping up with how fast everything is moving.
We're very excited. We're very lucky to have a lot of customers to help us. So it's great.
Great. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us on Oracle TV.
Of course. Thanks, Kendall.
Now we're going to take a quick break, but right after that, we'll be back with TD Bank to hear about their cloud transformation journey. Remember those futuristic cartoons with flying cars, instant gourmet meals, and robots doing chores? Well, gourmet meals still take time, but robots, we got you. They're called AI agents, and they're live today in Oracle's Fusion Cloud applications. Now you can have goal-oriented agents running end-to-end business processes in hiring, field service, customer support, ledger analysis, financial forecasting, and coding. Over 50 AI agents ready to serve today. Get the guide at oracle.com/applications. Hi, and welcome back. I'm now joined by Morgan Klein McNeil. She is the Vice President of Finance, Risk, and Treasury Technology for TD Bank. Morgan, so nice to have you on.
Thank you. Great to be back here.
Yeah, you've joined us a couple times now.
Yes.
I'm excited to have you back and to dive in.
Thank you. Yes, me too.
Now, for anybody who maybe hasn't seen your previous interviews or doesn't know, can you tell us what services does TD Bank offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So TD Bank is a top 10 North American bank headquartered out of Toronto, Canada, primarily a retail institution, so supporting personal banking, commercial banking, wealth, insurance, but we do also have a wholesale business.
So what kind of challenges come with running operations in a financial services sector like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think financial services is definitely interesting and ever evolving. We see so much change from a regulatory perspective, increasing and accelerating regulatory expectations. Of course, we have to service our customers, and their needs are evolving and changing as well. Every customer is going to compare their digital experiences to the best app on their mobile phone, and their bank needs to be right up there as well. So, making sure that we're investing in the right innovation to meet those customer expectations while also responding to the regulatory pressure of the industry.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Tell me about the role that technology plays in overcoming these challenges, especially around, like you said, regulatory risk and security requirements.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, technology is at the heart of everything that we do at the bank. Every experience is going to be powered somewhere by technology. I think if we look at, risks and regulatory, you're going to really see that data is at the heart of everything that we need to do there. Yeah. So obviously technology plays a huge role in curating that data and making sure it's available for all the different business purposes, but then also serving up the right capabilities to our business partners that they need in order to run their businesses as effectively as possible. And that's really where we've partnered, with Oracle using cloud applications like EPM and ERP. We're able to continue to push out change to keep pace with the industry and do it in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah, so let's talk about that as well. First, to kind of take a few steps backwards. Why was moving to the cloud such an important role, played such an important role in TD Bank's kind of transformation journey? And like you said, meeting all your customers' needs, those regulatory requirements, security, risk, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think moving to the cloud really underpins our whole transformation strategy. I always talk about the different benefits that we expected to get out of cloud transformation. The first one being secure and stable operations, right? It's got to work. It's got to be safe. You know that you need to be able to trust where your data is sitting, especially in an industry like banking. So the cloud plays a key role in that. The second is really around standardizing business processes. So when you've got great cloud capabilities and services, you're going to have a much easier time selling that to your business partners, getting them on board, making sure that they're using the technology again to run their business as efficiently as possible. And then the third one is really like unlocking and driving new value that we haven't seen before.
Right.
That's when we get into things like, where Gen AI is going to play a role. And again, using cloud capabilities lets us roll that out to our customers so much faster.
So why was Oracle the right cloud partner to, do this with you? And tell us kind of how you run on, like, what does your full Oracle stack look like today?
Yeah, so we've got Oracle in a number of places. Obviously, everybody thinks of Oracle and knows databases, and that was always part of the journey. But I think really the cloud piece has been the evolution. We have cloud applications, like I mentioned, in ERP and EPM. We have cloud hosting services, OCI, Oracle Cloud at Customer, Oracle Analytics, that's in the cloud as well.
And so when you, again, going back to when you were thinking about who you would partner with in this journey, those three things you named are of top priority, security being one of them.
Absolutely.
Why was Oracle the right partner for that?
So I think, we see where Oracle is placed in the industry. We see the other financial institutions that have partnered with Oracle. I think you've set yourselves up, so well in terms of industry positioning. As you said, security is number one. So without that, trusted cloud provider, you're not going to be able to go that much further. And Oracle, comes up on top every time.
I appreciate you saying that. And I'm not holding her hands behind her back, forcing her to. Okay, so what are the top benefits you've achieved in using Oracle Cloud Plus applications?
I mentioned, standardization of business processes. Technology shouldn't necessarily lead the business, but it's important to have the right technology platform in place before the business is going to be able to do the type of process transformation that they need to do. And I think that's where, we've really seen the benefits now that we're more mature in our journey and have rolled out more of the cloud applications and the cloud suite, that we're able to really optimize those business processes, start to see efficiencies, and again, unlock new value.
So what role does the integration, the seamless integration in the cloud play in driving greater efficiency, especially when everyone right now is trying to do more with less?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, multi-cloud is the big buzzword, and I think so many companies are still figuring out exactly what their multi-cloud strategy is going to be and how is that going to evolve. But when you really want seamless integration, that's where a multi-cloud strategy is critical. Right. You can waste a lot of time, resources, and energy, moving data around across multiple platforms. You can lose things in the process as you go from one cloud to another. So seamless integration is a number one priority.
Love to hear it. Well, what's next for TD Bank and Oracle?
Yeah, so I mean, we're continuing on this transformation journey. We still have a little bit more legacy technology to continue to migrate to the cloud and retire, but we've got a roadmap and excited to continue to do that. And then obviously, as we look at the future, now that we're on those cloud applications, it is all going to be about Gen AI. So we're really looking forward to using those embedded types of capabilities.
Why is Oracle the right partner in helping you take on the, Gen AI, all the opportunities when it comes to AI and Gen AI?
Yeah, I mean, I always say we don't need to reinvent the wheel on this stuff, right? Oracle's figuring it out. Let's just jump on board and take advantage.
I so appreciate it, Morgan. Thank you so much for joining us on Oracle
Thanks
TV.
for having me again.
Great to have you back. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, sure. We'll see you next year.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because right after this, Fritz will be back to talk all things Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Enterprise applications without AI, that's like a car without wheels or a plane without wings. For almost a decade, Oracle has embedded AI within our applications at no extra cost across the entire suite. Fusion Cloud ERP, EPM, HCM, and CX, so you already have the AI to automate manual processes that slow you down, react to market shifts in real time, and stay ahead of the competition. This is your AI advantage. Get a free demo at oracle.com/applications.
It's time to talk about OCI, and to do so, I am joined by Raj Subramaniyan, who is the SVP, Senior Vice President of Networking for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Thanks for being with us.
That's right. Thanks, Fritz. Thanks for having me here.
Okay, well, you just gave the OCI keynote. For those who didn't catch it, give us like your top takeaways. What do you want people to know the most about how OCI is different than any other hyperscaler cloud?
So the keynote itself was about choice and ubiquity. It's about the way we offer our cloud services and AI services to the customers in the various different shapes and sizes and different locations, where how we bring our services to the customers, like of the location of their choice, and the shape and size. When I say shape and size, they can be like as small as like 3 racks, or it can be like as big as like a super cluster running like thousands and hundreds of thousands of GPUs. So any size, any location, but with all the same capabilities. That's what we offer in OCI, and that's what we wanted to emphasize to customers.
So you talked about scaling up superclusters, scaling out multi-cloud, scaling down. What are some of the customer demands driving this?
So, as you said, these are different scenarios, different kinds of different ways in which customers actually consume these. So, and that's what brings out the difference. So there are, so just if you take a step back and talk about the various options that we actually offer to our customers. So there are dedicated regions, smaller sizes of dedicated regions. And then there is sovereign cloud. And then there is multi-cloud. And then of course there is Gov and then public cloud. So the dedicated regions, the usage is typically for customers who have already made investments in their private infrastructure, private cloud infrastructure, where they have their own data centers and they want to bring in the cloud capabilities into their data centers. And then there is sovereign cloud, or like I say, Alloy type the cloud or sovereign cloud, where there is more stringent compliance and standards requirements. So they cannot bring the data out. So they need to keep the data and they put it through certain regulations. So that's a different use case where customers have that. And then multi-cloud is basically about customers who've made investments in other cloud, in other hyperscalers. So we don't want them to completely uproot and then bring them onto OCI, because it's going to be a difficult migration, such a step. So we was how can we bring the data closer to where their cloud investments are? So these are the different types of investments that you do.
You talked about scaling down and mentioned one of the products is the dedicated region 25, so 25 node rack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Did I say it right?
It's not necessarily 25 node rack. It's we start with 3 racks is the minimum footprint that we have for DR25.
Got it.
And I'm sure you're probably going to be asking why would anybody scale down?
Right.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. So it's kind of interesting when you look at it, because when you generally look at cloud, people think of this as I want to be elastic. I want to be able to scale out as much as I need, scale up. But definitely there are customers who have still not embarked on their journey to a cloud, right? And so for them, they want to first try out things. So they want to start small. They want to look at all the capabilities that we have to offer rather than starting big and making a big commitment towards that to start off with. They want to start small. And then there are also customers which are more global enterprises, where they need to have presence in different geographies, but they don't want to have the same size in terms of presence everywhere, across the globe, because their customer base footprint might not require that. So for such customers, we want to offer a very small offering. That's where DR25 comes in, where they can just put 3 racks anywhere in the data center and not worry about power, space, cooling, all of that constraints, and be able to take advantage of all the OCI cloud services.
Speaking of, one of those services or some of those services are AI.
Mm-hmm.
So that's available in all these different sizes and shapes.
That's right. So of course, with our AI services, AI applications are definitely going to be available. But if you need more power, if you're going to run certain frontier models, if you're running training workloads and stuff like that, obviously that requires more compute and more power. You're not going to be able to fit those into 3 racks. Sure. So wherever you need more infrastructure to run, larger infrastructure, you need to go big. But in terms of software, in terms of the stack, OCI stack itself, the cloud stack, that's common across any of these offerings, and you're just going to be able to take advantage of them anywhere.
So what is our AI strategy for in the cloud?
Oracle has a unique advantage of having offering services and offering products across all the layers that is required to run your AI applications, right? Be it infrastructure, be it data. Of course, we are number 1 in database, everybody knows that. So we are the best in the breed. And we've got like a SaaS applications, which again, like, we are one of the top players there, like when it comes to back office applications, front office applications. And of course, we also partner with other large language model providers, right? So across the stack, we offer services and customers can pick and choose what they want. If they want to run like, foundational models, we've got that. We've got the infrastructure for that. If they want to make use of our SaaS applications or any of the like the Fusion or database applications, we already like work with AI and enable it for the customers. Like they don't have to worry about it. Like it's just like by default they get it.
Right.
But if they also want like us to fine tune some of these large language models, and then if they're running like smaller inference type workloads, they just want to take advantage of this. We offer that as well for them. So it's like again choice in terms of AI as well, be it infrastructure all the way to like basic applications.
And we have a lot of customers using all of these different services, different sizes for different reasons. Can you give us just a little flavor of some of what customers are doing with this?
So again, it's a wide variety of things. So there are customers who are purely infrastructure customers who have who know what kind of application, what kind of software stack they need to run, what kind of AI capabilities they need. So so for such customers, I'm not sure if I can say call out names right now, but there are some big ones who have given some quotes that you see already on screen, who primarily use us for the infrastructure capabilities that we have. And the price performance is phenomenal when it comes to infrastructure capabilities. And then there are customers who are enterprise customers who use us for some of the Fusion applications, some of the ERP systems, HCM systems, supply chain systems. So for those customers, it's about using the enterprise applications that we already provide to them, that they are already using, but with all the capabilities, bells and whistles that we already embed, we continuously keep innovating in those and that they use them as well. It's a wide spectrum of those. And then there are customers who have some of the capabilities running in other cloud vendors, in other CSPs. And for them, we bring the data closer to them. Right. That's where the multi-cloud offering comes in.
Got it. One last thing. One of the things that you talked about in your keynote was all of the different, hundreds of data centers we're building around the world. How will this benefit our customers?
So this goes back to what I was saying in terms of scaling down as well, right? So if you look at it, one of the big hindrances for many applications, many customers who have sovereign constraints, who have compliance and standardization constraints, are not able to get out of the certain geographies that they are in, where their customers are, or where they're committed to certain government regulations. So for them, embarking on a cloud journey has been extremely difficult. So our ability to actually take the cloud, proliferate it, and pretty much distribute our cloud offerings, again standardize the same set of services consistently across the globe, enables such customers to actually embark on a cloud journey and then continuously keep innovating on their behalf.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Raj.
Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and right after this, we're going to hear from Avis Budget. Be right back.
If your business is all in on AI, it's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is the blazing fast and secure platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, plus all your AI and machine learning workloads. It powers your business to run any application for less. In fact, OCI costs 50% less for compute and 80% less for networking. Take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/cloud.
Hello again, everyone. I am here with Ravi Simambatla. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Digital and Innovation Officer for the Avis Budget Group. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Fritz.
I got your name right?
Absolutely.
I take great pride in it.
You said it better than I could say it.
All right. Well, I'm going to practice it again for the next time I see you. Now, look, most people know what Avis is, but maybe what's something that about the business that behind closed doors people might not know?
Well, we operate over 500,000 cars globally. We operate in 175 different countries. So almost every country on the planet. And I think there are about 190 or so countries on the globe. We operate in almost all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. If I start naming them, I'm not going to do that. Another big thing that people might not know is that Avis Budget is undergoing a major transformation. and you're moving most of your workloads to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. What was the impetus for this transformation? What are you hoping to achieve?
Well, it's a business transformation aided by technology. And as we embarked on the business transformation program, we started looking at all the, the Silicon Valley and now, of course, Austin-based companies and their cloud offerings. And it turned out that Oracle, despite being on the back foot, being a late comer to the game, they actually used that time very well, and they figured out how to fill those gaps really well. So that's very important to me. So today I do not see Oracle Cloud any different than others. But what Oracle has, which is very special to me, is they have enterprise druthers. Oracle knows enterprises inside out. That's what you guys have done for decades, between your databases, between your ERP apps, PeopleSoft, Siebel, etc. So that was it. And that's why we chose Oracle.
So can you talk a little bit about some of the successes you've had along the way in this business transformation?
Sure. Our pricing revenue management system, which is the lifeblood of our company, that's how we make money, runs on OCI. We moved it to OCI, lock, stock, and barrel late last year. And it's been a phenomenal success because now actually our performance is much better, reliability is much better, and the business is really happy. So I would say that's a huge, huge win for us. In August, we'll be transporting and migrating all our enterprise data warehouses to OCI. On the 23 AI database. And I cannot wait for that to happen because it'll unlock a huge amount of potential for us. Even if only half the things that Oracle says about 23 AI are truth, it'll still be magical.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. So how long will that implementation take?
We're getting done by end of August this year.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. And to Oracle's credit, OCI's credit, we actually started the program in full earnest in February this year. So for a company that's 79 years old and, give or take, we have about 35 years of data, to get it done in such a short span of time, well, a tip of the hat to the Oracle team and to my team.
Let's talk about the data side for a minute. So Budget gathers a lot of data on things like customer preference, demand patterns, your fleet mix, inventory logistics. How are you leveraging AI to use this data to deliver better experiences for your customers?
So we've only just started leveraging AI to drive insights. Where we do use AI prolifically is in damage detection. So we take videos of our cars exiting our lots and coming back, and we can detect incremental damage as small as a penny.
It wasn't me, by the way.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's what we always hear. But now we have the proof.
Okay.
But that's very important because it makes really good conversations with the customers, takes away all the he said, she said, and, it just becomes a very clinical exercise. As you move forward in time throughout this year, and which is why I'm so excited about 23 AI, is we want to give personalized offers to our customers, the best offer to the right customer at the right time with the highest probability of conversion. And the only way you can do that is using AI to crunch these massive numbers and give near real-time offers to our customers, personalized offers. So it's really going to change the paradigm of how our industry functions.
So this is a real mashup of data and AI, something we talk about a lot, being able to use that, apply AI, make these offers, like you said, in real time.
Yeah, and pricing and revenue management multiplied or combined with fleet movements. Think about it. The commercial team using AI can clearly indicate where cars should be placed. And the machine should automatically determine where cars should go based on demand, based on revenue generation capabilities. I wouldn't say it's a holy grail. That's definitely the next step in our evolution.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times, I worry about, I get to an airport, they're going to have the car I want, cars at all during a busy time. So being able to have those, have that foreknowledge, be able to predict that, have them there. I didn't even think of it. So there's a whole operation behind the scenes on that.
There's a whole operation. And, I didn't even delve into supply chain, how to make supply chain better and more, I would say, optimized. Because as soon as a car goes into a supply chain process, it's not being rented by customers. A car not being rented by customers is not making money for us.
That's right.
It's a very simple equation. So our goal is to minimize the amount of time it takes from when a car is returned to when it's back in a customer's hands. And again, as you move forward in time, my firm belief is the AI capabilities now being delivered by the industry, not just Oracle, are going to allow us to really accelerate this entire transformation.
When you think about the outcomes of some of these initiatives, whether it's damage, documenting damage and fleet movement and control, are you starting to look at the metrics of improvement? Where do you go with that?
Yeah, we're absolutely a metrics-driven company. So we do not do anything without, hey, is it going to drive up EBITDA? Is it going to drive up revenue? Is it going to drive up my margins? Is it going to increase NPS? Is it going to drive up utilization of my assets? If the answer to that is yes, okay, by how much? And so all of us, our governance, our KPIs, including our executive compensation and all the way down to the director level, is based on achievement or exceeding the achievements of those KPIs. So it's not just technology for the sake of technology. It's very purposeful.
So I want to have a little fun with you here. Favorite place you've rented through Avis yourself?
This would be in Maine. Maine, yeah. So my wife and I, last year we love to hike. So we went to Maine to look at the fall colors.
Oh, nice.
No, actually, so it was Boston. So we rented a car in Boston. We drove to New Hampshire, Maine, and we had a fantastic time in Maine and New Hampshire. So Acadia National Park. It's beautiful.
Thinking about that myself this summer.
You should do it.
But my favorite, I drove across Portugal.
How nice.
Great road trip, stopping in all the great towns in that country with an Avis car.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Of course. And thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate having you.
Thank you, Fritz. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, and now let's hear a little bit more about the Oracle Multicloud strategy.
Run Oracle Database in any cloud so you can bring AI to your data anywhere. Develop AI-powered apps. Use cutting-edge Gen AI features like vector search and modernize your apps with Oracle Database running in every popular cloud platform: OCI, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. That means you run your workloads where you see fit with built-in AI, high availability, and the leading performance you expect from Oracle Database. See what you'll be able to do at oracle.com/multicloud. Welcome back. I now have the pleasure of sitting down with Juan Loaiza, our Executive Vice President of Database Technologies. Juan, thank you so much for joining us on Oracle TV.
Thanks for having me, Kendall. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's been an exciting day. You just got off the keynote stage. It was very great. We got some great feedback there. But for anybody who maybe missed it, can you give us the top takeaways from your keynote and what you hoped that everybody here took back to their offices with them?
Okay, I'll give you the very, very short summary. The big summary is we are building all the data technologies the enterprises needs in a fashion where they're all work seamlessly together and are state-of-the-art best of breed, and we're infusing the whole thing with AI. So the idea is you don't have the complexity of having to build this yourself. We built it all together, all the data types, all the workloads, AI, engineered systems, analytics, OLTP. It's all there. It's all best of breed. It all works seamlessly together. You get high availability, disaster recovery, scalability, everything. And when you mix all these technologies, it's dramatically better than anything in the market.
Okay, so we need to peel this back. And by the way, that was beautifully concise, but we're going to dive into every single part of that now. Right? Okay, so first and foremost, what are the top challenges that businesses face today when it comes to data management?
There's all sorts of challenges. I mean, clearly a big thing now is you got to get on top of AI. AI is clearly the next big thing. And how do you do it? Where do you do it? And how do you make it enterprise grade? Yeah. How do you make sure that the answers that your customers get are reliable, they don't leak private data, and that they're simple? So that's a big thing. And we're doing that by integrating AI with the data and making the whole thing seamless.
Right.
And we built the whole platform so you can get AI extremely simply. You can write 5 lines of SQL, run a query that uses AI and business search to produce answers for customers. We're building enterprise-grade apps that are fully secure and private using AI. We're generating them with our low-code environment. So that is probably the biggest thing that enterprises need to worry about, because you can't sit the AI revolution out. You have to be on it, and you have to be leading edge on it. But in addition to that, there's all the traditional things like scalability, availability is ever more important. Security, cyber attacks are going up. So that's another huge area that everyone worries about.
One of the ways that we're kind of helping simplify this and overcome these challenges is with our latest Exadata X11M. Can you tell us a bit more about what's new with that and how our customers will benefit from that?
Yeah, so we've been building on Exadata for many years. We have the large majority of the large businesses in the world today running on Exadata, whether it's banks, telecoms, retailers, manufacturing companies, everyone. It's been extremely successful. We keep enhancing that technology. It gets dramatically faster for OLTP, for analytics. A big thing now is we've made it available in every leading cloud in the world.
Wow.
So it's available on Azure. It's available on Google. It's available on Amazon. Of course, it's available on Oracle Cloud. And we can bring that cloud to your data center also.
Right.
So now it's available everywhere. You pay for it using your existing cloud vendor credits. So it's all that high mission critical technology now everywhere you want it. And we made it super easy to use and super easy to manage in the cloud. So that's probably the biggest thing there. And then let's not forget, we put AI into the Exadata technology also. It runs AI dramatically faster than other platforms.
There you go. Well, and speaking of multi-cloud and our Oracle Autonomous Database is running in every major cloud provider, just the ones you listed, AWS, Google, Azure. Why was right now the right time to do this? And what is it offering? What are these types of partnerships offering our customers?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Our customers are running super important systems that run the world, whether it's banking, telecom, retailing, all that. And they need the capabilities that Oracle's developed over decades. And so now is the time, because as the migration is happening in the cloud, we want to be there to support them, to make it easy for them to migrate to cloud and without losing anything. So everything they have, all the technology they have runs seamlessly in the cloud. It's very easy to migrate. You don't lose any availability, security, scaling, everything. Everything just works.
And then on top of that, what kind of opportunities does this open up for them? You talked about the challenge of flexibility. How does this bring them more flexibility?
So a big thing with our cloud technologies is, you mentioned before, autonomous. So it's traditionally been difficult to create a high-scale mission-critical system. In the cloud, it's super easy. We do all the work. So you can just say, give me a database. I want this much CPU. I want this much storage. And then you can just use it. We take care of all the management, availability, security, all that for you.
Wow.
So even the smallest businesses now can get the same technology that the biggest banks, the biggest telecoms in the world have relied on.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to settle for anything less. And it's very affordable in the cloud also. You can start very small at low cost. You can grow to any scale you want. And every technology that we built is there.
Switching gears a little bit, couldn't do this interview without talking about 23AI, of course. Tell us about some of the game-changing innovations within Database 23AI.
Yeah, there's so many. It's hard to go through a list, but of course the biggest is AI.
Of course.
AI is built into the database. We've built AI search with special indexes. You can run AI technology in milliseconds. So when end user has a question using natural language, we can answer that question using the customer's data literally in milliseconds. So it's real time. It has all the capabilities of Oracle database, so it's ready for mission critical on day one, because it's just another type of workload in the same Oracle database that we've been working on for decades. So that's a huge thing. We've unified the relational graph and JSON models, document models. That's a huge thing for the future for new development.
Yeah.
We have our distributed database that's very useful for super high availability, for data sovereignty, as there are more and more regulations about data staying in the sovereign country. There's a true cache capabilities. There's so many capabilities. We standardized graph technologies and put them natively into the Oracle database. We think we have now the ability to run Mongo database apps directly against the Oracle database.
Right.
So you get all the benefits of Mongo with everything from Oracle.
More cost
and it's
effectively.
completely transparent.
Yeah.
The existing apps run. You don't have to do anything.
Wow.
So and that's just a few of the capabilities in 23i. It's really a game-changing release.
Another biggie is AI vector search. Can you tell us how this helps customers run queries easier and faster?
Yeah, so the key idea to understand around AI vectors is databases have been very good at querying and maintaining business data.
Right.
So, purchase orders, telephone calls, bank transactions. What they've not been good at is what I call human-centric data. So a human document, like a Word document or PDF, a picture or a movie, that kind of things, we've never been able to do anything interesting within the database. You can find them, but that's it. Now this AI technology and human language to like documents.
Right.
Now with this new AI technology, it's enabled these human-centric interfaces and human-centric data. So you can literally talk to your database in your native language.
Your natural language.
And it will respond to your questions. Find data, respond to your questions. You can ask it for images. It'll find the images. You can just describe what you want.
Yeah.
You can take apart videos. So these things that were never possible, they were never close to possible 2 or 3 years ago, are now not only possible, they're super easy to use because we've integrated this AI searching with business search.
Yeah.
So you can run it against your business data and in real time as data comes in. So that's very new technology. Honestly, I've been in this business for decades. I never thought I'd see this, and it suddenly is now possible literally in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it is truly incredible. And also the speed of innovation, as you said, I mean, truly, truly incredible. To wrap up here, as we're talking about 23AI, any great customer examples that are using 23AI to really achieve great things?
Yeah, we have a lot. So
Many.
I think, again, I've been at Oracle a long time. I've seen more interest in 23AI and in AI than anything in the past.
Yeah.
People are really excited about it. So we have a lot of customers using it for all sorts of applications. Everything from manufacturing, finding defects in products. For customer can upload an image, they can find it in a catalog.
Right.
Fraud detection. So insurance companies are using it for fraud
Yeah.
detection. For matching patterns of buying. So you say, hey, customers that buy this might also be interested in that.
Right.
The most amazing one that, it's interesting for me because I in my wildest dreams, I never thought I'd see it happen is for diagnosing infections in humans by taking a gene sequence of your blood and then identifying the bacteria that you have that you're infected with.
Wow.
That's happening in the Oracle database with a company called BioFi.
Wow.
That's production now. And I never thought I'd see anything like that. So AI capabilities are being used for all sorts of different applications that are truly amazing.
I mean, first of all, I have full body chills. That is such a cool story. And it truly, again, just amazing. It's not just, technology changing the game for businesses. This is life. This is world changing.
Yes.
It's incredible. Final question here. You hit on Gen Dev and the groundbreaking technologies that will help data dev and app dev be more AI centric. What are we doing to make this happen?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're very focused on is enterprise.
Right.
And when you talk about AI, you'll see a lot of things on the web where people are like, oh, I can quickly generate this app using AI. And you can, but that's not enterprise grade.
Right.
Enterprises have much higher stringent criteria. It has to be secure. You cannot leak customers' private data, health data, banking data. You just cannot leak this. You go to jail for doing that. Right. It can never happen 100% of the time. So you can't depend on the AI getting it right 100% of the time. You can't depend on not hallucinating something. So a lot of the work that we're doing is making AI, combining our technology with AI so it's simple, but it's also enterprise grade. So we're moving things like the security into the database, atomicity into the database, evolvability of the data into the database. So the AI can just focus on what it's good at, which is really generating kind of like the user interfaces and the actions. And we make sure that the security, the atomicity of the data, the consistency of the data, the evolvability of the data, disaster recovery, all that, we guarantee that underneath the AI. Wow. And that's really what's going to make it possible to use AI for real enterprise apps.
Well, I cannot wait for what's ahead. Juan, thank you so much for joining us on Oracle TV.
All right, it's been a pleasure.
All right, now we are going to take a quick break, but right after that, Fritz will join a customer using the Oracle Autonomous Database, AvaSure. Stay tuned. How do you get the most value out of AI? When you bring AI straight to your data, this is what you get with Oracle Database 23AI, the database with built-in AI vector search.
With AI vectors in the database, easily search a combination of business data, documents, and images. Deploy the power of AI vector search along with Oracle's mission-critical capabilities and keep your data secure in the Oracle database. No need for a separate database. Test drive it for free at oracle.com/database.
Hello again. I am here with Toby Edelman. He is the CTO of AvaSure. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Okay, a lot of people may not know what AvaSure does. You guys are doing some amazing things in the healthcare industry. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure, I'd love to. So AvaSure is what we call a virtual intelligent care platform, and it is backed up by AI, but it's mainly used, initially started out for adverse events. We tried to stop adverse events, or we are stopping adverse events in hospitals.
Okay.
And mainly around acute care is where we work. And we got our start originally from stopping falls. Okay. And falls were a big problem. In the beginning, there was no way really to get them to stop. And many things were tried, but in the end, it was our system that was able to finally make a big dent in the system. And once we had a camera and a speaker and a microphone and the CPUs at the edge in the room, we now were able to provide this audio video platform to others, as well as to capture many different applications. So in addition to stopping falls, we now stop elopements. We work on stopping self-harm and pulling tubes. And there's all of those things. And then in addition to that, we've also enabled the system now to provide telehealth. So you can now do virtual nursing through the system. And we've even have an open architecture so that the system can be used to provide video and audio to other specialized systems. But behind all of that, we found that the best thing that we could do to really improve for the future is to add artificial intelligence to our platform. So we've been focusing on using that to enable the humans in the loop to actually be much more effective at their job in stopping falls and other adverse events.
So you've got these systems in the room. They're listening, they're watching, they're seeing the events happening, feeding that back to artificial intelligence, which is helping kind of understand what's happening and telling the humans we might have an issue here, or we did have an issue here, or there could be coming up an issue here.
Exactly. Yeah. And what we're trying to do with AI, what we are doing with AI, is we're using it to really go after the predecessor events. What we're trying to do is predict that something is going to happen long before it does.
Got it.
And so this will enable our observers to be able to increase the number of patients that they're able to observe. And then this also can be expanded much beyond that to be able to watch for other things. So we have, for instance, some new features coming out that help watch for how long somebody has been in a particular position and needs to be turned. And so there's lots of things like that that we're doing. And we also have different AI models that we're using to assist with telehealth. So being able to, for instance, read the prescription off of a prescription bottle, or be able to, detect certain things that need to be notified during a virtual nursing event.
So what are some of the unique challenges in training and modeling the AI that feeds these systems?
So healthcare is very difficult from the perspective of computer vision, which is what we do with our cameras to detect these things. It's called the computer vision aspect of AI. And the reason that it's difficult is because you can't get recordings, because that's PHI.
Right.
So for years, our system has been very good at being very secure, and we didn't keep any video. Even though we've been doing this for 15 years and we're in 1,300 hospitals across the country, we have no video recorded that we can use to train these models. And we all know that AI is only as good as what you put into it.
Sure.
So we don't have all of these videos. So I'm a little jealous, honestly, of the radiology industry, because they have all of these radiology images from forever with their diagnosis on every single one. And so they've been able to train AI models using that. What we're trying to do is we need to train AI models based off of no recordings, but what we're getting live. And so our systems that we're working towards are a partnership with the hospitals to be able to get access to this. And all of our training is actually done in the cloud at OCI. And it's a partnership that we've been working on with OCI and with NVIDIA to be able to really come up with some good ways that we can train on the fly.
And so why did you ultimately select Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI, to do this?
So we did look at everyone and tried to decide what the best partners were to use. And in the end, we chose Oracle because of a few different things. One is we were able to get live very fast with the tools that OCI provided. So the Code Innovate program was essential to us getting live in the cloud. When we started out with AI, all of our AI processing was at the edge. But we quickly realized that when you have devices at the edge that you want to last for many years, you can't add additional power. The number of classifiers you have is what you're stuck with for the long term.
Yep.
By having it in the cloud at OCI using the GPUs, we can continue to expand and add additional classifiers. And so the partnerships that OCI has with NVIDIA, the partnerships that we've had with us and OCI on being able to really work out a lot of the challenges that we've had about the fact that it's a lot cheaper to do AI at the edge. So we have to be really efficient in the cloud in order to make it cost effective.
Yeah. Now, you guys also use the autonomous database. What role does that play in this equation?
So the autonomous database was a big thing, especially when we first started out, because we were able to get live very fast using that. It was a piece of the puzzle that we didn't have to put any time into in the beginning. And so it was a key piece, and it provided a lot of the managed aspect of it, made it so it was something we didn't even have to worry about. So we used that mainly in the beginnings, especially for kind of the configuration and the data behind the models. It doesn't contain our PHI, but it's because we don't keep any of that. Even with our training of the AI models, we keep no data. So, but we use it for all of the back-end data.
You talked about some of the advantages of OCI. What are some of the kind of tangible outcomes you've been able to achieve? You talked about, being cost effective, being able to go from edge back into the cloud. Do you measure some of the results of that?
So yes and no. We measure them, but a lot of the advantages that we're getting are more around how fast we're able to train new models. The fact that we have the 1,300 hospitals, we've set up a system in the cloud that is a multi-tenant environment. And so we've been able to reduce bias by being able to take in inputs from all of our partners that are AI enabled, and we can feed them all into the cloud infrastructure to be able to train all of our AI models from that perspective. So we are able to reduce bias because of that. We're able to increase the quality of our models, and then we've also been able to implement a combination of our more powerful, what I call heavy models, that we use for training, and then use that in order to provide the data that we need for the lighter models that are more cost effective that we run in the cloud for production.
Got it. Okay, so what's next? You talked a little bit about telehealth. Is that kind of the next phase of development, or are there things beyond that?
So we're always coming up with new models that we're using, new classifiers, but really the next thing that we're working on is Vicky. And Vicky is our virtual concierge program.
Okay.
And so what this is it's actually a partnership with OCI and NVIDIA and AvaSure. The three of us together are working on this. Essentially picture like it's a concierge that's in the hospital room with you that you can talk to at any time. It's more conversational, but it can also take the input that it's receiving and be able to triage that information in the hospital to be like, okay, well, this could be this need that this person has could be met by asking somebody to go get her a glass of water ahead of the patient even knowing that they need it, right? And so we're really trying to get predictive and go beyond that. Well, at the same time, if somebody were to talk about being in pain, we could have a virtual nurse call in. So this avatar that we're putting in the room, that we want it to be very natural speech, natural behaviors in the way the avatar moves. And it's somebody that is there for the patient all the time. Because our hospital staff, amazing as they are very overworked. And so by being able to provide this is the next big thing for us.
That's great. This is so exciting. I'm sure everybody watching has some familiarity with the situations where this improves the situation for patients. So thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad I could be here.
Okay, I can't believe it, but that is our last interview for CloudWorld New York City. We're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, we're going to close out the show.
It's no secret that companies need to do more, faster, and spend less if they're going to keep up. Now you can automate one of the most important areas of your business, your data. Oracle Autonomous Database automates database tuning, security, backups, updates, and other routine management tasks without human intervention. And with the new Oracle Database 23 AI, you get an enterprise-grade Gen AI solution without having to move your data anywhere. Get a free test drive at oracle.com/ADB.
And that is a wrap on Oracle CloudWorld Tour New York City 2025 and Oracle CloudWorld Tours in general. Fritz, what did you learn?
Well, I think across all the tours and here today, we're hearing more that not just people are dabbling and trying out AI, but really putting it into practice. And even just that last conversation with AvaSure, what they're doing is life-changing.
Truly.
And so we're seeing those developments really start to affect human lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I think, that it's just the speed of innovation with AI is moving so fast. I mean, even from the beginning of these CloudWorld tours to now we announced the AI Agent Studio for Fusion Cloud applications. That's a huge change, but it's moving so fast that if companies haven't adopted AI yet, they are officially behind. So it's time to get on it. And hey, we want to hear from all of you too. Tell us your top takeaways from today's event or CloudWorld Tours in general using the comments in whatever platform you're tuning in from.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed today's content, there's a lot more where that came from.
That's right. Oracle's biggest event of the year is right around the corner, Oracle CloudWorld Las Vegas.
We hope you join us there. Registration is now open both for the in-person event, but also our on-air platform as well.
And no matter where you decided to join us from, either virtually or in person, Oracle TV will be there live, covering all the top takeaways and biggest announcements right from the heart of the conference.
And just to get you a little excited, here's a sneak peek at what you can expect from CloudWorld Las Vegas 2025.
Roll it.
CloudWorld is all about community. You have this system, but it's not just your system. You're connected to all these other people that are doing different things with it. And then you're also in a community of folks that have been there before, can give you advice. So I think it's just a great opportunity to make those connections.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The people, the vibe, just the food. It's a little bit of everything. There's so much to learn.
This event is a mix of strategy, innovation, networking, and I think the cutting edge of technologies worldwide. It's like Disney World for technologists.
If I was talking to a friend that was thinking about CloudWorld, I would say you got to come. It's a lot of fun. You're going to make great connections, learn a ton, and there's just so much to do and see and take in.